Good day, everyone. So I am Michael Luis Andrew Polo Ayo from BSCE 2D, and now our group will be discussing about the gold mining in the Philippines. So let me share you my screen. Okay, so this is the gold mining in the Philippines. Okay, so yun yung pag-uusapan natin sa araw na to. Anything na related sa pagmimina ng ginto sa Pilipinas. So bago natin officially nasimulan yung report namin, gusto ko lang ipakilala yung mga kagrupo ko and mga katulong ko sa pag-discuss nito. So the companies of the gold mining in the Philippines will be discussed by Michael Jason Dacasin. Locations ng mga minahan sa Pilipinas will be discussed by Mark Angelo Molina. The principle of operation kung paano nakakuha ng ginto ay didiscuss naman ni Joel Miranda. The benefits of the gold mining in the government, community, and the environment ay didiscuss naman ni Junjun Irinco. Ang environmental impact ng minahan sa Pilipinas ay didiscuss ni JP Briones, and the news and current events of gold mining in the Philippines will be reported by Toby Martinez. And ako, si Michael Ayo ang magbibigay ng conclusion and recommendation bago matapos ang aming report.
Hello, so good morning guys. So I'm Michael Jason Dacasin from BSE 2D. So now we will talk about gold mining companies in the Philippines. So gold mining companies, ito yung mga kumpanya na nag-operate sa atin dito, nagmimina ng ginto dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So let's proceed to the companies. So the first one is Apex Mining Companies Incorporated. So Apex Mining Companies Incorporated, or AMC, is a Philippine-owned company, incorporated and registered with the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission in 1970, primarily to carry on the business of mining and related activities. So, AMCI became a publicly listed company under the Philippine Stock Exchange in 1974 using the symbol APX. So it operates the Maco gold mine located in Asara, Maco, Compostela Valley in southern Mindanao. So yung Apex Mining Company is a Pilipino yung may-ari nito at nakaregistered to simula pa noong 1970 sa Philippine Securities Exchange or Exchange Commission or PSEC. So became publicly listed din to noong 1974 sa Philippine Stock Exchange Commission yung using symbol APX. So AMCI's history goes back in the 1930s when it began its mining operations, Iho Gold Mines. In 1978, its incorporated name was changed to Apex Mining Company Incorporated. The ensuing years became tough for the company brought about with the challenges in the mining industry. A new management took over in November 2013. So, nung way back 1930s pa, ang pangalan niya pala dati is Iho Gold Mines. So, noong 1978 nga, yun lang, in-incorporate na, gawing pangalan is Apex Mining Company. So, the company spent 46.7 million and 38.1 million in 2017 and 2016, respectively, for public infrastructures, educational support, socio-cultural and religious support, health and medical assistance, and livelihood programs, all geared towards improving the social and economic condition in community. So likewise, AMCI spent 36.8 million in 2017 and 85.4 million 2016 for its environmental protection and enhancement program, so FF. So yung Apex Mining Company, hindi lang sila basta nagbimina, tumutulong din sila public, so nagpapatayo sila ng infrastructures, educational supports, yun nga, meron din silang socio-cultural and religious support, so yun sa health, medical assistance, so parang tumutulong din sila kumbaga sa community. So, yun nga, hindi lang basta sila nagmimina ng mga ginto, yun. Pinapangalagaan din nila yung environmental protection and enhancement program. So meron silang program na para pag-alaga din ng ating mga kabundukan, gano'n, kung saan sila nagmimina. And then yan. So the next one is Medusa Mining Limited. So Medusa Mining Limited successful listing on the Australian Stock Exchange. So nagsimula ito sa Australia in December 2003 with the intention of exploring for gold. So the main area of interest was the Philippines. So the company did have interest in project in Western Australia. So yung nagka-interest sila dito sa Pilipinas, so mas pinili nila to kaysa sa project nila in Western Australia. So the first 12 months saw the company earned a 50% interest in the Sorghum Gold Silver project in the Agusan del Sur region of Mindanao, so the large island in the south of the Philippines. Exploration identified narrow epithermal type veins containing gold and silver. Medusa's project partners were Pilsaga Mining Corporation, a privately owned Filipino corporation that operated the then small-scale CO mine and processing plant. So, yung etong Medusa Mining Limited is meron siyang partners dito sa Pilipinas. So, partner niya is Pilsaga Mining Corporation. So, na nag-ooperate naman ng CO mine and processing plant. So, yan, the next one is Metals Exploration Mining Company. So, as you see in the logo, yung mga logo nila. So, Metals Exploration PLC is a mineral resource exploration and development company. It 100% owns the Rono Gold project located north of the Philippines. It is registered and listed on the Alternative Investment Market or AIM in London with ticker identity MTL. So, it is Metals Exploration Management Strategy and Corporate Plan is to provide shareholders with high capital growth potential delivered by developing a mineral project into a world-class mine, so undertake cost-effective and precise exploration on those targets, most likely to deliver real shareholder with wealth. So respect the indigenous culture of the exploration areas and to promote social and economic development for traditional custodians, so maintain help projects ranging from grassroots exploration to advanced resource projects is requiring definitive feasibility studies. So manage the inherent value of its portfolio by advising short-term projects, joint venturing long-term projects requiring significant development capital or by selling of those assets which deliver immediately value to the shareholders. So use financial modeling to ensure the targets being sought are of this type to deliver a low cost position in the production cost curve. So conduct operation in safe and environmentally responsible manner to industry as practices standard. So metals exploration is galing naman to dun sa 100% kung gold siya. So hindi katulad ng mga nauna is located siya sa north of the Philippines. So ayun nga, yung sa London, ticker identity and MTL. So yun, registered and listed siya dun sa London. So the next one is Oceana Gold. So as you can see in the logo, so journey began in 1990 on the South Island of New Zealand. So etong Oceana Gold galing sa New Zealand when gold production first commenced at Macraes. 30 years later, our footprint has expanded to the North Island of New Zealand at the Waihai Gold Mine, to the Philippines at DPO Mine, and in South Carolina and America's East Coast at Hale Gold Mine. So, noong sa Oceana Gold, hindi lang siya sa New Zealand, kumbaga nagkaroon din siya dito, and then meron nga siya dun sa America. So, Oceana Gold acquired the high-grade underground gold and copper mine in 2006 through a merger with Climax Mining Ltd and commenced commercial production as an open pit operation in 2013. In 2015, the mine transitioned to underground operation with production from underground commencing in early 2017. So the next one is Felix Mining Corporation. So Felix Mining Corporation was founded in 1955 and listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange in 1956. So yung Felix Mining Corporation ay Nabuo siya noong 1955 and then napasama siya sa Philippine Stock Exchange in 1956. So, dun lang siya na-lista. So, it has several subsidiaries that operate different mines in the country. So, the Patcal mine, located in Benguet, producing copper, gold, and silver concentrate, is one of the company's mines. So, marami siyang mines dito sa Pilipinas. So the company was incorporated in the Philippines in 1955 and has been listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange since November 23. So November 23 pala siya na-listed in 1956. PMC, PGPI, ang huli pong subsidiary incorporated in the Philippines in the Silangan Mindanao Exploration Company Incorporated. So SMECI, a wholly owned subsidiary incorporated in the Philippines. And its subsidiary SMMCI are primarily engaged in exploration, development, and utilization of mineral resources. So the next one is St. Augustine Gold and Copper. So Augustine Gold Copper Limited is an advanced stage developer focused on the Kikin Copper Gold Project in Mindanao. So ito naman nakapokus siya sa Mindanao. So province of the Philippines. The King project is one of the largest undeveloped deposits in the world. So, with an equivalent of $41 billion of in-ground value at today's metal price. So, ito naman na rin projects. Ito yung largest pero undeveloped deposits in the world. So, the next one is RTG Mining. So, RTG Mining Incorporated is a mining and exploration company listed on the main board of the Toronto Stock Exchange. So the Australian Securities Exchange and the OTC Pink Market, RTG is currently focused primarily on progressing the Mabilo project, a startup with permitting well advanced to move quickly and safely to produce gold company. So ito naman is from of the Toronto Stock Exchange. So the Australian Securities Exchange, ito galing sa Australia naman. Then RTG also has a number of exciting new opportunities, including the Panguna project runs during the uncertain times primary focus in the Mabilo project. The Panguna project is a proposal with the landowner David Consortium to secure an exploration license of the high tonnage copper gold Panguna project and Bougainville PNG. So RTG has an experienced management team which has to date developed 7 mines in 5 different countries, including being responsible for development. So yun nga. Yung RTG is isa sa mga 7 mines in 5 different countries. Ito, mga responsible sila sa pagdating sa pagmimina. So, yan. So, yun lang naman. So, thank you for watching guys and God bless. So, I hope na tutunan nyo yung mga company. Maraming gold mine company pero yan lang kasi yung lumabas. Kaya, nag-focus tayo dyan at sila yung mga kilalang company dito sa Pilipinas na nagmimina. So, thank you guys. Thank you for watching and stay safe. Bye.
Hi, my name is Juan Miranda and I'm reporting the principle of operation in gold mining. So let's start.
And shaking it around, hoping.
What comes to your mind when you hear gold mining? Most of us maybe pan shaking for gold. Yeah, that's what.
Find gold dust. I mean, I know that's not how it's done today, but that's the picture in my head. That's called panning, and it works because gold is heavier than most minerals. So you shake a pan, the gold sifts down to the bottom, and then you pour out the water.
Panning is one of the methods of gold mining. So you have a pan and you scoop water with sand in it and you shake it. Then the gold particles will be left in the surface because it is more heavy than other minerals.
The other rocks, and your gold sits right there. Panning is done by enthusiasts or even some small-scale mining companies these days, but it's very slow and the results are not great. Large-scale modern mining uses much more complex technique. First, there's prospecting. Prospecting is basically searching out and testing.
Panning basically works for small scale gold miners, but in the large scale gold mining, the first step is prospecting or searching. It is basically searching for a place where there is a large possibility that there is large amount of gold.
See, gold usually exists in very small particles. Only 1 out of every billion atoms of rock on the Earth is gold. But geologists take surveys and lab samples of minerals from specific areas to estimate whether they'll be able to find lode deposits in the area. That means big solid chunks of gold, not just particles. The countries with the most gold currently are South Africa, the
So basically, yung mga large scale companies, naghanap sila ng mga lugar na may large scale ng gold, hindi yung mga particles lang. Kasi nga large scale sila.
US, and Australia.
The most gold reserves nowadays is US, Australia, and South Africa.
Most gold in the world is actually on the ocean floor. We just don't have a cost-effective way to get to it. Once the deposit is found, the actual...
Another thing is, yung mas malaki yung bilang ng gold na nasa ocean floor kaysa nandito sa lupa, but we don't have that access to it.
Actual mining process begins. There used to be a lot of lode deposits near the surface of the Earth, but as you can probably imagine, we've torn those to shreds. In the increasingly rarer case that a near-surface deposit is found, a process called open pit mining is used. The miners drill a bunch of holes, fill them with
so you see, large-scale miners use open pit mining, like what you show me the picture.
Explosives and then detonate them, and they put the resulting chunks of rock into these trucks and they haul it off to begin.
Basically, this way of mining is like dynamite fishing, use explosives to decimate the rocks and put it in the trucks and basically extract gold from it.
In the next step. But lode deposits are more increasingly found deeper in the earth, which becomes more complicated. The miners then, they drill this access shaft into the ground, and then all along the shaft, they dig multiple vertical pits called stopes. The lengths vary, but the examples I found were all between 10 and 15 meters deep. And then they...
Another example of mining is what this says is what's again.
This shaft into the ground, and then all along the shaft, they dig multiple into these trucks and they haul it off to begin the next step. But lode deposits are more increasingly found deeper in the earth, which becomes more complicated. The miners then, they drill this
lode mining is you drill a large hole and that vertical large hole
access shaft into the ground, and then all along the shaft, they dig multiple vertical pits called stopes. The lengths vary, but the examples I found were all between 10 and 15.
It is 32 to 49.2 feet deep.
15 meters deep. And then they place explosives all along the length of the stopes and they set them off. The blast sends chunks of rocks to the bottom. They haul them up and they put them into the trucks. And what?
They collect the blown rocks and put it into the truck to extract gold from
Once all this mining is done, the gold gets extracted back at a mill. Those giant boulders are crunched down into this fine dust and mixed with water to form this slushy, muddy substance called slurry. Cyanide.
They crush it and then they form this kind of slushy mud so they can see and extract the gold from it.
And oxygen are added to the slurry, which react together and suck the gold out of the rock in a process called leaching. Yeah, cyanide.
Leaching naman is the process where you extract the gold using oxygen and other elements.
like the poison, which is an environmental problem because all that leftover sludge and cyanide has to go somewhere. Luckily, newer processes are being perfected that use stuff like cornstarch. Cornstarch, considerably friendlier than poison. So all the gold is sifted and filtered out of all that stuff and then smelted. All the little bits are thrown into a furnace at about
And then all that little stuff thrown into a one
1200 degrees Celsius with this chemical mixture called flux, which gets rid of all the remaining non-gold stuff.
try to basically a pan and heat it to 2100 Fahrenheit to extract the non-gold particles in it.
Then the molten gold is poured into solid bars, which gets sent off to refineries to get rid of.
And then after that, the pure gold melted into a pot or a bar. Then cool it, and then that's basically how you make a gold.
Of any more remaining impurities. You know, it is a complicated process, and for all that effort and all our hunting, we have only ever found about 152,000 metric tons of gold in all of human history. We find 907 million metric tons of iron every year. No wonder why gold is worth about $1,250 an ounce. Still easier than going off alone to some mountain with sled dogs.
So we found gold very rarely than iron because we only found about 10% to 90% iron. 10% equal to 90% of iron.
And check out Klondike, which is a 3-night miniseries on Discovery.
So yun, that's the process of making or operation on gold mining. First, for small gold miners, they use panning, and for the large scale, they use searching, the load method, and they crush it and they form the slushy thing, and they extract gold from it. They put it in the pan and extract the non-gold metals, and the gold metal, the pure gold melted and put it in a bar, and then basically waited for it to get cold. So yeah, that's how you make gold. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Eugene C. Irinco from BSc E2D. Sa video na to, discuss natin yung benefits ng gold mining sa Philippines. So, sa community, mining is essential to the production of goods, services, and infrastructure that improve the quality of our lives. As a developed society, we are fortunate to enjoy the many benefits that lignite, uranium, and industrial minerals help provide. These benefits include low-cost, reliable electricity and the materials necessary to build our homes, schools, hospitals, roads, highways, bridges, and airports. A reliable energy supply that can feed the hungry, take care of the sick, and ensure the prosperous economic future for society. Its monetary contribution to the region. The mining industry also helps maintain steady employment opportunities to communities within the Philippines, as at least 200,000 workers are employed within the mining industry. Indirectly, mining companies have also positively impacted the development of their stakeholder community. So sa community, nakakatulong gold mining sa community natin dahil sa ayun na nga yung improve the quality of our lives as well as develop currently enjoy many benefits we have, like lignite, uranium, industrial minerals help provide. So these benefits, yun na nga yung benefits na to, pababa ng mga cost natin yung mga kuryente, tapos sa materials na nakukuha sa pagmamining, makakapagpagawa tayo ng bahay, eskwelahan, hospital, saka mga daan. So makakatulong din siya sa mga may sakit, tapos mapapababa niya yung mga costs natin para makatulong sa community, sa ating economic future, society. Ayan. Laking tulong ng gold mining sa ating community. Lahat. So next natin is environment. A strategy of mining expansion focus more on the quality than the quantity of mining operation will pay higher dividends over the medium to long term. As part of the effort, there is a strong need to build the capacity of village, municipalities, and provinces to make informed decisions about all aspects of mining, from exploration and feasibility studies to actual operation and mine closure issues. It is similar to important to ensure whenever possible the timely availability of reliable independent information on the environmental effects of all aspects of mining through the establishment of a cooperative agreement with universities and research centers, both domestic and foreign. The cost of environmental responsibility and bad social practice on the part of one mining company are borne by all companies in the region, and peer pressure should reduce the likelihood of major accident and improve the credibility of the industry. So sa environment, alam naman natin na meron niyang good and bad. So sa good, makakapagpatayo na nga tayo ng mga tirahan, tapos makakatulong tayo sa hayop. May pera tayo para mapakain yung mga animals sa yung mga tao. Tapos makakatulong tayo sa mga municipality, sa mga schools, villages. So tapos ang environment, ang masama lang dito is pwede siya magsimula ng deforestation, tapos masisira yung natural beauty ng environment natin dahil sa mga gold mines na yan. Tapos maapektuhan yung ating ecosystem. Tapos next natin is government. Early this year, the Philippines government passed a new law exempting small-scale gold miners from excise and income taxes when selling to the country central bank, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSB. Here, Scarlett Evans looks into the new law and its potential impact on both the Philippines economy and the small-scale mining in the country. The new measure, which is also reach gold transaction between small-scale miners and accredited traders, was signed into effected by Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte on March 29 in a move that is intended to boost the country's domestic gold reserve and global economic standing, as well as prevent illicit trading of the precious metal, a practice that is currently widespread in the country. Overall, it's hoped that measure will facilitate more stable and profitable market for both traders and miners, but whether it is really enough to encourage the country small-scale mining sector remains to be seen. So dito sa government, benefits ng government naman natin sa gold mines. Sila yung nagdidikta sa gold mining kung ano yung mga susundin, tapos yun na, nagtayo sila ng bagong law para mapaganda yung ating mining sa ating Pilipinas. Yun nga yung small scale miners. Tapos para sa mga ibang bansa, mas madali tayo makakapag-communication sa kanila, tapos makapagbenta ng mga gold mines. So, mining and resources. The continuity of mining as a global industry depends on the availability of minerals to ensure a stable supply of commodities. However, a reality in mining as an economic activity is the immobility of minerals resources. Considering the minerals are in situ mining, companies have to go to areas where the resources are found. A host country accommodates foreign companies to carry out mining within its territory. An investing company receives rights to extract minerals under conditions which are largely defined by the political institution, socio-economic, and cultural landscape of the host country. Thus, a mutually interdependent relation develops. The host country relies on the mining company for foreign capital while the latter is granted certain rights in extracting minerals. So yun, yun lang. Doon nagtatapos yung benefits ng gold mining sa community, government, and environment. Thank you.
My name is John Philip B. Briones from BSEE 2D. Environmental impact of gold mining, responsible mining damage the environment. So, ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon ay ang impact ng pagmimina sa ating kalikasan, sa ating bansa. The Philippines has an estimated $840 billion worth of untapped mineral resources according to the Mines and Geoscience Bureau of the Philippines, which is responsible for giving permits to mining companies to do exploration of mining areas and to commence operation. Large-scale mining is destructive as it uses the method of open pit mining, which entails clearing thousands of hectares of rainforest agricultural lands. Deep excavations to extract minerals, the use of toxic heavy metals, chemicals to process minerals, ores, and the consumption of millions of liters of water. So, ang mga ginagamit na mga makina, mga machines, mga sasakyan ay nakakapekto din ito sa ating kalikasan. All of which negatively impact the lives of Filipino citizens with the grave disregard for their right of health, life, food security, and livelihood and clean environment. This is social justice issue of large-scale mining. Large-scale mining is against the sustainability of the environment and the environment. So, ang una ay air. So, paano ba nakakaapekto ang pagmimina sa ating hangin o air? Mining has a great effect on the quality of the air. Since mines need to blast through rock to get to an ore, dust may be produced in the process. Coal mines release methane. So, ang coal mines daw ay nag-release ng methane na nakakapulyot ng ating air, which contributes to environmental issue because it is a greenhouse gas. So, ano ba nga ang methane? Methane is sometimes captured but only where it economically feasible to do so. Some cooling plants may release ozone depleting substance, but the amount of release is very small. Non-vegetated or uncapped tailings dams release dust, and when radioactive elements are found in the ore, radiation is emitted. Heavy metals such as sulfur dioxide may be polluted into the air by unsafe smelter operation with insufficient safeguards. The gold mining industry is one of the most destructive industries in the world. So, ang pagmimina daw ay pinaka-destructive industries sa buong mundo. Because of all the toxins that are released into the air, acid rain and smog are also side effect of mining. So, ang side effect din daw po ng pagmimina ay ang acid rain at smog. Every year, 142 million tons of sulfur dioxide is emitted into the atmosphere because of smelting. That's 13% of total global emission. So, nakaka-pollute po siya ng air kasi maraming mga chemical ang lumalabas pag nagmimina ka. Tsaka, kasama na din yung mga vehicle na gamit mo. Yung mga mauusok na sasakyan. Yung ganun po. Next, the water. Mines use of a lot of water. Through some of the water is reusable. Sulfide when oxidized through contact with air via mining from sulfuric acid. This when combined with trace elements negatively impact groundwater. This happens from both surface and underground mines. So nakaka-pollute din po siya ng water kasi yung mga kumbaga nagmina ka, yung mga maduduming chemical na namimina mo, yung mga lumalabas ay syempre napupunta sa mga tubig. Ito, tulad nga sinabi dito, leftover chemical deposits from explosive are usually toxic. So sa mga yung para mapadali yung paghukay, kumbaga ginagamitan nila na explosive materials para mas mabilis na mabutas yung miminahan nila. And increase the salinity of mine water as well as contaminating it. Groundwater can be directly contaminated through it situ mining, in which solvent seeps into unmined rock, leaching minerals in the extraction of minerals, some toxins. For example, cyanide and mercury. Yun nga, sinabi na nga. Are used that can permanently pollute the water, making it hard for fishers to find fish. So, nakaka-pollute talaga siya ng water at nakakapatay ng mga naninirahan sa tubig, yung isda, yung mga ganon. Spills into ocean and lakes add toxic heavy metals and sulfuric acid into the environment, which can take years to fix. Yung dahil sa pagmimina, nasisira ang ating kalikasan, maraming nasisira, and yun nga dito sabi na bago maayos ulit yun, dadaanin sa maraming taon. So next, especially land. So trees need to be cut down in order to have mine built. So kailangan nilang pumutol ng maraming puno para sa pagmimina, para walang sagabal ba, kumbaga para mabutas nila na maayos. And whole forest could be destroyed. Mining involves moving large quantities of rock and in surface mining. Over then, land impacts are immense. So tulad nga ng kanina, yung air, napupulot din kasi siya, syempre nababawasan yung mga puno, mga trees na nagbibigay ng fresh air. So kaya napupulot din siya. A lot of areas are marked by thousands of small holes by people digging in search of precious minerals. Mining activity also may lead to erosion, which is dangerous for the land. It destroys riverbanks, changes how the river flows, where it flows, what it leaves it. Toxins used in extraction of minerals, for example, cyanide and byproducts like mercury, can permanently pollute the land, which make people not able to farm into certain places. Open pit mining leaves behind large craters that can be seen from outer space. So, malaking kawalan talaga ang land pagka nasira ito dahil sa pagmimina ng mga tao. Ito yung example niya. Ito yung nasa left side is yung natural lang niya. In the right side, yung minina na siya. Ecosystem damage. Mines are highly damaging to the ecosystem surrounding them. Many different types of mines can affect many different types of ecosystem. For example, deep sea mines are the high risk of eliminating rare of potential valuable organism. So, mas malala din pala yung deep sea mining. Mining destroyed animal habitats and ecosystems. So hindi din sa tao na hindi din tirahan ng mga tao o kabuhayan ng tao na nasisira ng pagmimina, pati na rin sa mga animals. Yung mga habitats nila nawawala. Pits that mines create could have been home to some animals. Also, the activity that surrounds the mine. Next. Because of huge environmental, social, and cultural costs, allowing mining to operate puts extreme stress on health and food security and right to life and livelihood of the Filipinos who first lived in the area. Displaying respiratory disease, loss in agriculture livelihood are just some of the things local communities lose to mining corporation. The promises made by mining companies to provide scholarship and provide livelihood to the affected people, especially with indigenous tribes, are mere palliatives in comparison to the massive environmental destruction and long-term negative health impact and unsustainable mining practices. Damage local communities. Yun lang po.
Hello again, everyone. So after natin marinig lahat ng mga kagrupo ko na mag-report about sa gold mining in the Philippines, now let me give you a short conclusion and recommendation about sa gold mining sa Philippines. Ganon din, we hope that this presentation will help yung mga taong interesado sa gold mining in the Philippines. Okay, so let me share you my screen. Okay. So the gold mining in the Philippines. The conclusion and recommendation. So una, bago natin ibigay yung conclusion or yung pinaka summarize kung ano na itulong ng report na to sa atin. First, we need to know ano ba talaga yung objective ng gold mining. So through the Google, it says that gold mining is a major economic driver for many countries across the world. Well-managed, transparent, and accountable resource extraction can be a major contributor to economic growth due to the creation of employment and business opportunities for local people. And so ito yung isa sa mga objective ng gold mining sa Philippines is to give or create employment and business opportunities sa mga tao dito mismo sa Pilipinas. So primarily makatulong itong gold mining sa mismong mga Pilipino. However, as well as direct and indirect jobs and employment, gold mining also brings foreign direct investment, foreign exchange, and tax revenues to countries. So yung ginagawa natin na gold mining dito sa Philippines, it may attract yung mga foreign companies para mag-invest dito sa atin. And it can also help yung economic growth ng Philippines. So sa pagsa-search ko patungkol sa mga recent projects dito sa Philippines about sa gold mining, may nakita